Good evening. Okay, good evening. Good evening. We will call the special meeting for Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 to order at 6:25 p.m. Melissa, roll call, please.
Sorry. Director Bankus? Here. Director Carey? Here. Director Hafley? Here. Director Jorgensen? Here. Director Malpacum?
Here.
Director Nelson? Here. Director Ott? Here.
All 7 board directors are present in person. Adoption of the agenda. Director Jorgensen, can you please make the motion to adopt the agenda?
I move that the Board of Education adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Director Bankus?
Aye.
Director Carey?
Aye.
Director Hafley?
Aye.
Director Jorgensen?
Aye.
Director Malpacum?
Aye.
Director Nelson?
Aye.
Director Ott?
Aye.
The agenda has been adopted as presented. Okay. Okay, we would have to modify the agenda. Okay, so we do have 2 students in the audience, so we will invite the students up here to lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance. Okay.
You all start whenever you're ready.
You can start.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to the Palmer students. We do have public comments. Ms. Olson, do we have any public comments, people that have signed up? So we do have 1 public comment that has signed up for special meetings. The public comment is just on the agenda that is on the special meeting agenda. So since the only item on the agenda is Palmer RFP and the contract that is in front of the board, this public comment is on that agenda item. So when I call your name, please approach the podium. Ms. Stephanie DiCenso. Thank you. You have 3 minutes. A clock is displayed on your screen, on the screen. So introduce yourself, and you have 3 minutes. Thank you.
Hey there, I'm Stephanie DiCenso, Steph, a lot of people call me. I graduated from Palmer High School in the class of 1999, 25 years ago. I know I don't look that old. Board members, Mr. Gall. Next month, first off, I'd like to invite you guys to our Homecoming Hall of Fame. We usually have a brunch on Saturday, September 28th. But I'm here actually to talk about the future of Palmer and a little bit about my history and why this is so important to me. I'm born and raised here, went to Edison Elementary, Mann Junior High, which actually became middle school around then because I was in the 6-9 transition. And then I went to Palmer High School and then UCCS. I do agree that the students deserve many updates to the school, including HVAC and probably a lot of new things that need to be done. But at the same time, we have to preserve the history of Palmer. The history of Palmer is a service spirit we all have. The terror spirit lives and will always live. We have 149 years of our history to preserve, which lives in tradition and excellence of our school. I am a terror. Many of my friends are terrors. Many of my friends who are terrors I actually didn't go to school with. They went to school either before I did or after I did, but every time I meet somebody that went to Palmer, they immediately become my friend. It's just the connection that we have. Palmer has a sense of community like no other. Palmer has always been inclusive of all students, and that's why we still come together as adults, because of our bond. It is something that you can feel walking the halls, looking at the Hall of Fame pictures of those who came before you. It is strong. You could smell the history. After high school, I missed being at Palmer. College was hard for me in the beginning. I didn't know anyone. The professors didn't care about you. I mean, compared to all my teachers at Palmer, they were just there to basically babysit you and get a paycheck. Some even didn't really even bother caring to lecture about their classes, which was completely different than what I had at Palmer. I was not receiving the type of education that I received at Palmer. Our teachers and coaches at Palmer wanted us to learn, grow, and thrive. Our counselors and administration cared. Our Palmer principal, Mr. Angellen, was by far the best out of my 3 principals I had in District 11. I had my place at Palmer. At Palmer, we also stood together and we supported each other. We stood and we cheered for our football team. We went to the homecoming bonfire and we stood around it. We attended concerts to support our musicians. I actually played cello in the orchestra. We all stood together in the Cadet Field House in 1998 when our terror hockey team won the state championship. A year later, we stood together and with the world as the tragedy at Columbine High School unfolded before our eyes, a month and a half before our own graduation. Now as adults, we stand together to save the history of Palmer and the terror legend. It is just a building to you, but it's the community for every Palmer terror that walks through the doors of 301 North Nevada Avenue. The C we all proudly wear is not just
Thank
for the
you.
original, okay?
Your
Thank
time
you.
is up.
Okay.
You can email the board the rest of your comments.
All right,
so we
sounds
can-
good, thank you.
Thank you. And also let us know about your event on September 28th so we can put it on our calendar. Thank you. That's the end of public comments. Moving on to the action item on the agenda. Director Nelson, can you please make the motion for action item B1?
I move that the Board of Education approves contract C 2025-1000 to RTA Architects in the amount of $4,735,500. The period of performance is August 15th, 2024, with an estimated completion date of February 1st, 2028.
Second.
Moved and seconded. So for the community that's tuning in to this special meeting, the board had a lengthy discussion, conversation, presentation on the Palmer High School Architecture Design Services contract a few minutes back. It was a 2-hour healthy, robust conversation. If you didn't tune into the conversation, the video will be uploaded on the district website, so you can look at it at a later point in time. Superintendent Gall, do you have any additional information or comments at this point in time?
I do not.
Okay. Board, do you have any additional follow-up questions or comments at this time before I call roll call? Director Bankus.
For those that were not in attendance for the work session, let me reiterate, it's really important for those with an interest in the progress of this renovation at Palmer that you continue or you start to access the information through the website, through our meetings. The information that we received tonight through the work session was extensive and detailed, should give good information going forward on how we can proceed, how we can engage, how we can envision a future for Palmer that encompasses the tradition that it carries.
Thank you. Director Jurgensen.
Just a brief piggyback.
Oh.
Just a brief piggyback to Director Banks' point, and as evident by an email we just received this evening, there are rumors around there about this project. We've made it pretty clear this evening that we have a website dedicated to all the up-to-date things. So if you're hearing things about apartments going up and we're selling off land to a developer or whatever it is, we have the website that gives you that piece of information. It is not factual. If you're hearing that we're putting apartments or buildings, I know Harrison District 2 is building some teacher housing, which is very cool. That was in the news just recently. That's what they're doing. We're not doing that. We're holding to the values of Palmer's history, as you heard today in the work session, and we're going to have a page dedicated to true and accurate and transparent information on this project. So if you do have any things you hear at a family barbecue or wherever you're at, run it by the board and we'll dispel it and get you what you need to know. So let's squash the rumors and the weird things that are going on out there about this beautiful project. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that information. We discussed this extensively at the work session. There are going to be numerous opportunities for the community to engage in the coming weeks and months. There are going to be town hall meetings, workshops, steering committee put together. You have access to this board. You can send emails to this board, and I know several board members who are always responsive and want to meet with you and provide that factual information. Also engage with Superintendent Gall and his team. The principal at Palmer High School, she will be able to also provide factual, accurate information. Please, the misinformation that spreads out there, we can chase down every single misinformation out there. So just come to the reliable website that Director Jurgensen referred to and contact any one of us, and we will be able to get set the facts straight. Any other comments at this point in time? Seeing none, roll call, please, Ms. Melissa, Ms. Olson.
Director Bacon?
Aye.
Director Carey?
Aye.
Director Hayfley?
Aye.
Director Jorgensen?
Aye.
Director Melpacker?
Aye.
Director Nelson?
Aye.
Director Oz?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The contract award to RTA Architects in the amount of $4,735,500 has been approved unanimously by the board. Welcome, and we look forward to this partnership and working with you in the coming weeks and months. Thank you. Before we adjourn for the evening, Superintendent Gall wanted to give a quick 5-10 minute feedback to the board and also to the community about the start of the school year and how that has gone. Superintendent Gall, over to you.
No slides, so it might not be 5 to 10 minutes. I'll try and get it shorter than that. First of all, I want to thank all our students for a robust return. We had full day elementary school on Monday with Jump Start for 6th grade and 9th grade for Monday, and then full day for everyone on Tuesday. The caveat there would be some Jump Start still happening in kindergarten and preschools rolling in. But the schools are full of children. They are full of learning. It is a wonderful opportunity for you all to be the governance model and for our team to get the great joy in being with children every day. Secondly, I want to thank our families for getting those children to school on time. I was on the Dan Koshel show the other morning asking people, please drive slow. Safety zones are still an issue in our city. The sun comes up at funny angles at certain times of the day. We had a horrible downpour on Monday or Tuesday afternoon, right as kids came out. Fortunately, there was no hail. But thank you for the families for making that transition from hopefully what was a relaxing summer for a fruitful year. Third, to our staff, we are better staffed than we have been, and this is now starting my third year, but probably since pre-COVID. District 11 is now a district of choice. We are seeing many of our educators and our educational support personnel and our exec pros coming from other districts to be a part of the success that we have all fostered together. You heard last week about the capital projects. Please get out in our buildings. You will stand in the middle of a building and not even recognize of what we've been able to do to it. I'm going to share 3 quick examples. First of all, the dance studio at Martinez, our Arts Plus Integration Elementary School. The teacher ran me down the hallway and said, thank you, Mr. Gall, for the dance studio. It now has a proper dance floor and a wall full of mirrors for our young elementary school students to be able to dance. Secondly, I want to talk about the Kiss and Ride at Madison because that has been on the list for the 3 years that I've been here. Yeah. And magically now the Kiss and Ride is done. You can get in and out of Madison right off Constitution in a very safe way. And thirdly, we call them safe entry and exits. Many of our schools have had just incredibly well thought and designed safety vestibules for you to be entering and exiting the school in a very safe manner that you don't even realize that it's happened. And you're in that space, and this front office staff are just over the moon on the investment that the district's made. Oh, I will add all the new furniture as well, because that has gone over. Everybody likes new furniture. I talked about students, I talked about families, I talked about staff, I talked about our investment. I'll end on the ABCs, on the integrity of the learning environment. Again, I have such respect for our students in taking this very big move that we've made as a school district in trying to remove cell phones and distractions from the learning environment, and how respectful and how open they've been to that engagement. Each one of the schools handled it in their own personal way on what worked best for their community, and our students have responded with incredible respect for that decision. And I have seen children, I'll call them students or young adults, engaging and looking each other eye to eye in ways that I haven't seen in 2 years already in just the first 2 days. And so I appreciate the board for their, not only for their courage, but also for their empathy in the way that they listen to the community. And we used the design process last year to be able to come to strong policy with really tight implementation that's gone really well. So I'm going to end there and say we are off to a great start and super excited for the rest of the year and excited to see you all in schools starting again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that update, Superintendent Gall. And to our community, there are several open houses in the coming days and weeks. So this is an opportunity for you to come into our schools and visit our schools and see some of the renovations and upgrades that Superintendent Gall is talking about. Our schools are a community hub. So we, board members, also visit some of the schools during open houses. So we look forward to engaging with you as we visit our schools. Thank you for that update, and best wishes for our staff and students as we start the school year. With that, seeing no further business, if there are no objections, this meeting will adjourn at 6:41 p.m. Thank you.